Hey everybody, TFL members, challengers, this description actually might fit a lot of you, even if you're not in the 6-week challenge. So, I talked to a couple of my clients and I've heard that things aren't going quite as they have anticipated. The scale's going up, the scale's not moving, and there's a lot of things going on right now. It's just like we maybe had this expectation of this is what the challenge is going to be. This is what being quarantined in our house is going to be like. And I think a lot of us had this expectation of what we wanted to do, and it maybe isn't happening. So first, I wanted to address a couple of you ladies are not seeing the scale move, particularly those in the challenge. You are not seeing the scale move. I really want to emphasize, okay, that the scale isn't always going to be the best way to tell if you're making progress or not. Okay. Back in the day, I used to weigh 155 to 150. Okay. I weighed on the scale today 160. And I am a ton fitter than back in the old days when Allie was 150, 155. Okay. So the scale, you can't blame the scale, or you can't depend on the scale to tell you whether you're doing a good job or not. I know it's really, really hard because I even got on the scale and I weighed at 160. 160 is my number that's like, okay, girl. Like if I start to creep over 160, I know that I'm being too flexible with my diet. So that's kind of like calling me on. Go, all right, yes, okay. I have been snacking too much. I need to lay off a little bit, okay? So we all have that number on the scale, I understand. But I also don't want you to get stuck into this rut of that the scale is going to tell you if you're succeeding or not. I actually just posted on Allie Smith Figure this week 10 signs of progress that you may not be recognizing, okay? And it has to do with, like, some of them have to do with the scale. Like number 1 is maintaining a new low weight, okay? So even if, let's say, you did lose weight, but now you're kind of stuck there, and that's where you've been, that actually is also like sign of progress, that you were able to lose weight and then you're maintaining that lower weight. You're not rebounding and going back up. You're maybe losing inches, but your weight is the same. This is another thing, is like the scale hasn't moved, but your clothes are fitting bigger, you feel tighter, and that could be that you're putting muscle on and that muscle's replacing the fat, but the scale isn't going to reflect that. Okay, so normally I would have you do your body fat test and it would tell you that, but we're kind of stuck in this weird moment where we don't have that. So we're relying on progress photos. And if you want to take progress photos again, go ahead. They're not required, but it might help you realize like, oh, I am doing good. There is small changes there. Okay. And if your clothes are fitting better and things like that, you could be getting stronger. If you've repeated workouts, they maybe are a little easier now. You're not so winded in my boot camps if you're doing those. You are more consistent with your nutrition. You're not doing that yo-yo dieting that everyone is so used to. You know, like, oh, I'm going to diet really, really hard, and then no, screw it, throw it all out the window, give me all the food, and then you go back up. So there's a lot of different ways to see if you're making progress, okay? Now, if the scale's not moving, if it's going up, your clothes are getting tighter, then we just need to have that conversation with ourselves like, okay, I either need to eat less or move more. And that's completely up to you. Some people actually prefer to eat less. And I want you to remember too, it doesn't mean like cut your food in half. It doesn't mean take out 1,000 calories. It could just be, okay, let's say that I make one of my snacks a little smaller. Or okay, how about I quit eating really, really late because my late night snacks are full of calories and I shouldn't have that many more calories. Doesn't really matter the particular time in the day. It's the calories. Maybe they're too much in calorie. That's it. Okay. Or, okay, yeah, I've been slacking. I could probably work out a little harder in the boot camps. I could probably do a couple more runs, or I'm not getting all of my workouts in. Either way. Okay, we just need to have that conversations with ourselves. But do not get discouraged if the scale is not moving. Use other aspects to tell you whether you're doing good, okay? For me, the scale went up. But I also had a high carb day yesterday, so my body is retaining all that water, Okay. And I think, yeah, I'm pretty close to period day. So that also is messing with the scale. There's a lot of ways that the scale is going to fluctuate, and it has nothing to do with whether you're doing good or not. It could just be your carbs making you retain water, you drink your water for the day, you weighed at the end of the day instead of the beginning of the day, you haven't crapped for the day. Like, guys, there's so many different ways, okay? But I just want you not to get discouraged, because I've heard some of you are really kind of getting frustrated that the scale hasn't moved. We are barely starting week 3 in the challenge. 2 weeks in the challenge, I mean, hopefully you're seeing a little bit of changes, but if you were doing fairly good before the challenge, you're probably not going to see big numbers. I never see huge numbers with weight loss, okay? Even if I diet really strictly, like I lose 2 pounds or 3 pounds on the scale, and that's it, right? But by tightening up my nutrition, getting all my lifts in, my body tightens up more, but the scale doesn't do anything, okay? So don't feel like, oh my gosh, all of these other people in the challenge are going to be losing a lot of weight and a lot of weight. That's why if you lose a lot of weight or the most weight out of the group, it's just an extra credit. That is not our goal in this challenge. My goal in this challenge is that you will eat more protein, because that's going to help you build muscle and maintain a lower body weight and maintain a healthier body weight for a longer time. Okay. I want you to get more vegetables in, because that means that you're going to build a strong, healthy body. You're going to be able to cut calories without cutting a lot of food by eating more vegetables. Okay. And I want you to increase your water, because everyone doesn't drink enough water. I want you to be consistent with your workouts. I want you to be consistent with your cardio. I want to build a healthy lifestyle for you, so that you're not having to do another 6-week program, a 12-week program to get back on board or get back into shape. You're always going to be there. You're going to be able to maintain a fit lifestyle, because it's becoming a habit. Okay. When you do all the things that I coach you to do, yes, muscle gain, weight loss, feeling better, more confident, sexy, muscle, all of that is a side effect, but that's not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to help you build habits and a routine. Everything else just comes with it. Okay. And also, when you focus more on the habits and the routine of things, it's not so discouraging, right? Because if you focus on the scale, like, oh my gosh, today it went up, and then tomorrow it's going to go down, you're going to feel amazing, and then it's going to go back up, and then you're going to feel depressed. It like plays yo-yo with your emotions, okay? But if you focus on, okay, 4 lifts, 3 cardios, drink my water, like those are things that you can check off and feel better, and it's like a yes or a no, right? It's something that you can control, whereas the scale, you can't always control it. So I want you to focus on things that you can control. Put the effort in, and everything else will come. Okay? All right. So if you haven't seen that 10 signs of progress that you might not be recognizing, go check out Ally Smith Figure. It's a big purple post. You'll see it. So let's talk about week 3. If you printed out the calendar, week 3 has a monkey covering its eyes. Okay? The little description says eliminate or hide binge triggers. Okay? So out of sight, out of mind is one of those things that I learned that really helped me. And it still to this day helps me. If Logan buys a treat and I can't control myself around that treat, I have to put his treat in the top shelf of the pantry, in the garage. Like, it's somewhere that I don't see often. Because every time I see it, I always want it. Even though I don't really want it. I'm actually pretty bad at monitoring my food and being able to say no. So for me, what works for me is I have to hide it. Okay? So what I want you guys to do is working on things that you cannot control yourself around. If you find yourself driving by something all the time and just subconsciously eating all of these calories, I want you to put that somewhere. Okay, and I know you maybe have kids and you have families, but you need to be open with them and go, hey, you guys need to help me. All right, so I need this out of my sight so that I do not ruin my goals. Okay, out of sight, out of mind is a lot easier than, oh, I shouldn't have that. Oh, I can't have that, because I can't have that. Okay, there's nothing you can't have, But if you can't control yourself around it, we should eliminate it until you get to a point where you can. And you might not ever really be able to, but maybe you have like a little bit in moderation, hide it away, have a little bit in moderation, hide it away every other day or something like that, okay? So I want you to work on, if there's something in your house that you're just like, I can't control myself around this thing, then I want you to eliminate it. Put it somewhere that you can't see, okay? Feel free to throw things away, all right? If, oh, but my neighbor made these cookies for us and they brought them over. Okay, either your family's going to eat them, your husband's going to eat them, or you're going to eat them. And if you're going to eat them and you don't need them, then toss them. But I don't want to waste the food. I know, but you didn't make them. So just toss them. Okay, you don't need it. You're wasting it by throwing it in the garbage, and you're wasting it by eating it because you do not need it. So it doesn't matter where it goes. You might as well throw it away. Okay? All right. Also on week 3, there's the 2 little pieces of paper. I want us to find 2 new recipes, and I actually want you guys to make them. I think in a lot of the past challenges, we found new recipes, but we never, like, there wasn't really proof that you made it. You just like, oh, this looks like a good recipe and everything like that. But I would like you to find a new recipe, share the link with the group in the workout app, because I think that's kind of nice to have us like, oh, you guys should try this. I want you to actually make it, and I would like to know if it was good or not. You know, so that way if we find the link, we're like, oh, she said this was terrible. Let's not try that. Okay. All right. The only other thing, if you look at week 3 on your calendar, there's these little arrows kind of in a circle. I want you to repeat 1 and 2, week 1 and 2. You don't have to like track it or anything like that. It's just, I want you to keep practicing your protein, and I want you to keep practicing your vegetables. Okay. So let's just recap. Week 3, we're going to eliminate triggers. If there's something you cannot control yourself around and you overeat it, hide it from you. Okay? Have your family hide it from you. This is something that you want goals and you want to reach there. You like, sometimes you can't just rely on self-control. You sometimes have to hide it from yourself. Okay? 2 new recipes. I want you to try it and send us pictures of you actually making it. And then work on getting your protein and your vegetables. Repeat week 1 and 2 with the habits. Okay? All right. I will probably put in week 3 in the app, your protein and vegetable goals, just so you guys can like keep track of days. I think it's kind of nice to be like, okay, today I had enough protein. Check that off. I think it builds up your self-confidence that like, okay, I did it. Let's do that again. So I'll put those in there for you, but they're not going to be required. The only thing required is the 2 new recipes. I'm not going to know if you eliminate triggers, but if you, I don't know, maybe you guys have like a trick. If you guys want to share in the group, like, oh my gosh, I like send a picture where you hid something or whatever. But I mean, ultimately in week 3, if you're not making progress, you're probably not hiding your triggers. So, let's try to, this is the week that like, this should be the turning point. Okay. Like, okay, week 1 and 2, I did a little better here. I did a little better here. I fell off. Now let's try to make it better. Like week 3 is like, we're halfway through. Let's try to make your goals happen. Let's do it. Okay. All right. So let me just make sure I got all the icons. Yep. Hide your triggers. Cool. Okay. So I know today I had a little bit of motivational at the beginning, but I was just talking to a client and she was mentioning how the scale wasn't moving and it was kind of bothering her. And then I talked to another client and the scale was going up and that was bothering. And so there was just a lot of focus on the scale and a lot of good different conversations. So again, like I always share, you know, if it's happening more than once throughout the week with my clients, then I like to talk about it with you because you're probably feeling the same. So if you're feeling the same, you're feeling kind of discouraged, don't beat yourself up. Okay. The scale isn't going to give you the true answers, but then also, you know, look at your my zone or look at your activity throughout the week. If you're drawing the X's or the circles on your calendar, X is saying, yes, you did the goal. Circle is that you didn't do it. Take a look at it and do a self-evaluation and see, you know, could I be doing better? Could I be giving this my better effort, give it 100%, so forth. Okay. right. Let me know if anyone has any questions. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday. So this will give you, so again, this starts on Monday. Remember, we're starting to do these more on Saturday, so you have Sunday to prepare for the following week. Monday morning, I will tally up the points. So by Sunday night, make sure you get all your workouts logged, all your goals logged, your water logged, all of that fun stuff. Because Monday, I will tally them up. Monday, next week, I will do boot camp on Monday and Wednesday. So if you want to come and join, that's fine. Remember too, I did create in the Facebook group, there's that album, it's called Cardio, Challenge Cardio. So there's plenty of cardios in there. They're 20 minutes long that you can do as well. So don't forget about those. You don't have to go for a run or anything like that. You can do those as well. So, okay. All right. Good. We got this. Let's hide our triggers. You know, and then the funny thing is now that I say that, I actually gave in yesterday and me and Logan made no-bake cookies. And me and him have a hard time with drive-by. We'll just drive by and, oh, it's time for another one. Oh, it's time for another one. So, all next week, there's not going to be any triggers in my house. And if there are any triggers, they're going to be hidden. Because I'm going to do better. Because I'm creeping up on the scale. And I'm hoping it's just yesterday was a high carb day, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm gaining a lot of weight and I feel fluffy, but it could be that I'm just trying to like sell myself on the fact that I'm not doing as bad as I really am. But that's sometimes what it takes. So, okay. Anyways, week 3, we're tracking in, it looks like, this app. So only next week will we use a different app, but we'll talk about week 4 when it gets here. Okay? But let's just focus on week 3. Hide your triggers, find some new recipes. Remember, in this document, there is apps that you can try. It's the Meal Lime is an app that you can find some meals, or you can also use MyFitnessPal for recipes. You can use Pinterest, things like that. Okay? All right. So if any of you watch this and you have questions, feel free to comment down below, and I'll answer them. Okay? Bye, guys.